following material contains strong language and adult content. Please be advised.
Won't find anything like it. And why is that? Because the Comfortably Poor podcast keeps it 100. Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
What up?
Go.
What up, fellas? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump
day.
day.
In full effect.
Grab your nearest pillows, your nearest couch cushion. Start humping away like a good old dog, like a good old retriever in heat.
You could just grab your partner. Why you gotta go fuck the couch and shit?
Well,
why you boning the pillow?
not very many of us can be lucky like you, Adam.
Hey, being an adult sometimes has its perks. Sometimes you just want to grow up.
And then you also lay in bed hating yourself at night, hoping that the next day goes faster. Is that right?
Every day goes faster as you get older.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody
told me that shit when I was 10 years old. I swear to God. It's so funny that you bring that up. My aunt had a really hot friend. She was a Puerto Rican chick that she worked with. Caridad. And,
La-di-da?
Caridad. It's a Spanish name. I know you don't know Spanish names other than Maria, Guadalupe,
John,
everything. Maria.
Jen,
Lisa.
Susan.
Yeah. So,
That is my lady.
don't fuck with me, you fucking cocksucker.
Hilarious. No, that's for real. That's her name.
But I remember she was 21, and we went on a beach trip. We went to the beach together, and she came with us. And I remember being 10 years old. And she said that specifically to me. She was like, these days might feel long when you're a kid. But she's like, when you're literally just 21 and you're drinking and you're having fun and you're doing what you're doing and you're living that adult life, she was like, time is going to speed up like you'll never understand it. And that stuck with me. Like, I still hear her say that shit to me. Because days will go 100%. So fast now, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
It's seriously true. It's so weird. Like, and I talk about this all the time because it's easy for me to see these things, these differences, and point these things out. So you just said your mom's hot friend, and you were 10 years old. So that was roughly like 03, 04, sometime in that ballpark, right? Like around there, somewhere.
03.
So,
03, I was
like,
10 years old.
I was 10 in 92. I would have never said that comment about any of my mom's friends. 92, my mom's friends were old bags, just never would that comment have come out.
Yeah, but my aunt was my aunt it was my aunt's friend, and it was...
Okay, okay.
And to me, my aunt is only 2 years or a year younger than my mom, but she was always more so the younger mentality than my mom.
Right.
My aunt, like, and she's blood. Like everybody else, all the rest of my aunts are half sisters of my mom. So the blood sister was the one that I grew up around, and she was definitely very young-minded. She had, my cousin at 19, and he had some skin issues because she smoked when she was 18, 19 while she was pregnant. She was a very young-minded person, And so she hung out and worked with young-minded and younger people. So she was 21. That girl was like 21 to 23 or some shit like that. Or 24
Gotcha.
She could have even been in that ballpark. But you know what, bro? I'm going to tell you, it's so funny you bring that up because this is how I know I'm warped. That's how my brain worked that way when I was a kid. Like, I would look at teachers, and when they were pregnant, the first thought was, oh, you had sex a couple weeks ago. Like, it's not, oh, congratulations, you're bringing in a new human. My first thought as a kid even was, wow, you had sex to get there.
So you automatically go into analyzing the sex. You're like,
I just
wonder,
knew.
Did she put her legs up? Did she get
Like,
doggy style?
I
Like,
think,
how'd her
you know
man
what it
beat
is,
that
bro?
up?
I hated,
You
with all the
are
content that I had
pervert.
accessibility
You
to.
are a pervy, pervert little kid.
No, but there's that. But I also feel like I hated being undermined because I was a kid. It's one thing that I've always never liked. Even when I was a kid, it was like, yo, just be honest with me. Be straight up with me. Like, how do you expect me to learn shit and know shit if you're not telling me? And that's how I felt as a kid. So I was already going to beat you to the punch as an adult. If you didn't think that I, as a kid, was going to think this way, you had another fucking thing coming. But I also believe it's about the type of content that you're exposed to. When my brother was watching fucking cutesy TV shows on Disney, I'm listening to Opie and Anthony. I'm listening to Ron and Fez. I'm listening to Don and Mike. I'm listening to Howard Stern, right? I'm listening to... I was taking in different
your
content.
Mind at a young age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%. And I also don't think it's wrong. I get why people might think it's wrong just in a, in a social and society sense. But, like, I just feel like exposure to shit earlier gets you more ready for shit. Nobody can turn my stomach now.
I guess it gets you ready for shit, yeah. But it also kind of... And this is going to sound a little cheesy, but it takes some of that innocence away from you as a child. And
Sure.
I think some kids should have a little bit of that growing up and really just kind of let it go. Like, I bet
I agree with you.
your mind from a young age was going 100 miles an hour now. Like, you started opening your mind up to these different things. So instead of just being like a free kid worrying about kid shit, you were already kind of thinking about adult type shit at a younger age because you were hearing what adults were doing, but you were hearing the R to X rated side of it. Like, you're hearing
right
a much...
I was not trying... Like, Sam put a comment...
And topics.
Sam put a comment in the chat. Dan is the reason why parental controls exist. And you know what? You might not be wrong about that.
Yeah.
You might not be wrong about that at all. And I agree. I think that definitely all kids should have a little bit of that innocence. I just hate how much in my face as a kid that idea of shh, don't say that in front of him. Don't shh. That kind of idea went around so much, and I hated feeling undermined just because I'm a human like you. I might not have gone through experiences. I might not have lived life yet, but I bleed the same way. I bleed the same color, and my heart beats the same in order to keep me alive. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that as a kid. And if I was exposing myself to stuff like Howard or whatever and the X-rated side of things, I kind of wanted the people to treat me that way, even though they're not going to, because a kid is not supposed to be taken in that type of stuff, right? So I get both sides of it. I really do.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's so funny that, like, Sam brought up parental control, too, because back in my day, parental control was you'd flip to a channel, like Playboy channel or whatever, and there'd be a key on the side of the cable box, and you just flip the key, and it would, like, lock that channel or whatever. But all I had to do was just go back to that channel and flip the key again, and it would unlock it again. Like... And my mom was that mom that she just left the key in the box. Like, most parents would probably take the key and put it on their keychain. No, we just had a key hanging out the side of our cable box. Like, I could just go.
Yeah, no, exactly
any key I wanted to, like any channel I wanted to.
But I think
there's no parental advisory.
It's something that it's spoken to on this podcast before about kids and how kids operate, right? Or just how humans operate, where if you continuously tell them that they can't do something or they shouldn't listen to something or they shouldn't do this or do that, you're going to be fascinated every time it comes up. I'll never forget I got in trouble for saying curse words on rap songs in first grade. And I know. It started early for me, buddy. Relax. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't repeat them, but like, what's the harm in listening to it? You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't repeat it around other people, but like, getting in trouble taught me it's not so bad if I listen to it. It's just if I repeat the words, right?
Right.
So you start getting that in your head, and then you start creating more pathways for yourself and like allowing yourself to discover more, because now you've built that trust with, I built the trust with my mom where I'm sorry, Ma, I didn't mean to, say those curse words. Okay, go back to it. But I'll remember before when fucking It's Dark and Hell is Hot, DMX album came out. My dad went to go buy that album for me. Right now, this is a Colombian country ass dude. Doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He just thinks it's, es rapero. You know what I'm saying? Those rappers. It's rapero, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, just a Spanish father not happy about his kid listening to black people music, right? But either way, he still bought the fucking album for me. And it was the unedited version. And I remember my mom, I forgot how she found out that it was the unedited version. And she had my dad take me back to either buy the parental advisory version or buy another album. I ended up leaving with Montel Jordan's album.
Because you've mentioned this on other shows, though. That kind of crafted your love for the R&B, though, like singing and stuff like that.
It helped
right?
me.
Like that changed your way a little bit. Yeah.
A lot of the stuff helped me.
How that works.
People like Brandy, Monica, fucking Montel Jordan, fucking Boys to Men, Brian McKnight. When I say my aunt had the younger mentality, my mom was listening to fucking white Shania Twain, white girl music. My mom was listening to white shit. And, because she grew up listening to the white people station thanks to her friend, Patty, or her best friend Patty, who put her on to PLJ in New York. And and I remember specifically feeling so kind of like cringe at a young age because some of their IDs used to say, "We don't play rap here." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened? So she heard, but my aunt was like on top of it too. My aunt was like listening to reggae. She's the one who put me on fucking people like Buju Banton and all these fucking people. And, she was dating niggas. So she was getting put on.
Right.
My mom only dated Colombian guys. So it was either going to be corny ass Spanish music or.
And too, like going back to the growing up thing, like, and again, well, yeah. Going back to the growing up thing, it's true what you were saying too, though. Like I know we were talking a little bit about like the music, but just even listening to things on TV and the things that you were around. Like I grew up more around older people too, and I think you've said that, and I think you've said that too, Brando. Both of you guys have said that kind of have had older people around you growing up versus people your age. That's a big influence there too. Not even what you're hearing on radio and TV, but just the association around you. Like I always had the older kids in the neighborhood. Like there was a couple of us that were my age and we, play basketball or whatever, but I was always trying to be down at the park, hanging out with the kids that were 5, 6, 7 years older than me, trying to like fit in, do whatever I could. And later on it got me in trouble, but it also kind of like, made me figure out what to do and what not to do. And it kind of goes to the question you asked yesterday, Dan, like regrets. Do either of you have any sort of regrets? Like everybody has a little something, but what's a regret that you guys have? Whether it's now,
it's cliche. People are like, "Don't live your life in regrets" or whatever, and I totally agree with that. I think that we decide to do things and we hurt people and we live life as an individual, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we really don't think about how what we do might hurt others, and I think that's definitely something that I'll regret sometimes, is not taking a step back and seeing how that person might feel in me doing something really shitty. But my biggest regret is, it's not anything crazy. My biggest regret is not partaking in more events and like theater shit in school so that I can get that type of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like my school was a one of a kind place to do a production because it's a county school, so their budget is large. Their money is long, baby. So they spend over $100,000 plus every year for their musicals.
God damn.
From costumes to fucking
Big
everything,
budget.
and
That's a big
budget, bro.
Yeah.
It's money. I mean, it's crazy. Like the fucking musicians, just alone, the professional musicians who I'm friends with today, great guys. They've worked with so many celebrities. They performed for so many people, and on like the Soul Train Awards, they were musicians for a few people several times, you know, back in the day and stuff. So, big names. They'll come in for a week. They'll get all the written out music. They'll bring a couple of, well-trained musicians that they know and put them on the payroll, but they get 20 grand out the door just to show up for that week. Just for the week.
God damn.
It's Monday through Wednesday rehearsals, and then Thursday's dress rehearsal, and then Friday through Sundays the shows. And they get paid 20 grand.
Sign me up.
Grand, so. Right? Fuck.
I'm on. I just
That type of
we
money
forgot
is
to
what
do
I'm
a proper
talking about.
Introduction too. So if you want to give any of your thoughts about regrets, anything like that, phone lines are open. My bad. 844-997-0775. If you're new to the show, use that hashtag comfortably poor on Twitter.
Shout out to Shay. Shay says,
100.
I'm sorry. Yeah, CP Pod 100. I'm sorry about that,
good.
bro. Shay's saying that she grew up around other older people. She has all older brothers, so all she knew was older, which definitely can see that. Like, I think there's a huge difference between people who grow up
Excuse me.
as the older sibling and things are placed on them and all that stuff. Whereas when you're the youngest sibling and everybody's already kind of lived life a little bit, they've gone through high school, they blah, 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 or, there's so much more to learn from that. Shout out to Nessa. Nessa's in the chat. She just showed up. Thank you so much. And Shay agreed with me on regret. So I really wish that I had done more so I can have more experience in that realm. I'm not an actor, and I'm not like obsessed with that kind of stuff, but there was something really, really cool about getting with a cast of people and having an end result. And it's kind of what we do here, right? It's kind of what we do here, a little more freeform. That's a little more structured, but it also kind of gave me a real life scenario just because of how many people came in, dude. You know, we would pack that auditorium up with over 2,000 people up a night.
By the way,
Yeah, 1,000%.
Real, there is no script on this.
The closest thing to an act, I would say, is when we crack jokes. That's acting, joking around, like in that.
Yeah. I mean, we try to give a lot of comedic.
But this is not
here,
anything that we're
stories, anything
faking.
like that. That's all real.
These are jokes about our lives.
Podcast. I think I fall in that same category with high school. Like I played sports and stuff through high school, and I hung out. That's kind of where I was saying, like, I hung out with a lot of like the wrong people. And I'm not gonna say they're the wrong people because there's a couple of them today that I'm acquaintances with. But I
know what you mean though when you say that. It's not like to be disrespectful. It's just what it is. Like,
we're not super
people
tight.
that didn't have the same ambition that you did.
Right. And two, it's like it's different then as it is today. Like, my circle is super small, and I made it that way because I realized too the true ones were the real ones were like when I lost my sight like a year and a half, 2 years after high school, all those people boom, gone.
Nope.
Nobody
Gone.
stuck
Wow.
around. Not a single one of them. We partied up until 18, 19
I never
years
thought
old,
about that shit, dude. I
and
never thought to ask you about that.
jumped ship. I didn't have nobody's.
crazy.
Was it because of them being uncomfortable? Was it
That's
because
insane.
they didn't fuck with you anyway?
It was primarily because I was the one. I had the whip. I had the party house. I had the spot, and I was going through shit. I couldn't
lot of
drive
niggas hating.
anymore. I couldn't do a lot of stuff right away. You know, I was figuring shit out. I was figuring out life. A lot of shit was hitting me at once. Like I've mentioned before, in a matter of 6 months, I lost my sight and my mom. So I was just like dealing. I was getting through it, you know, like, but all those people jumped ship. I had one or two dudes that stuck around, and even one of them, he's gone. He pulled some shit on me, like with the disability thing, like
Shit.
took me for a shit ton of money and, you know, jump ship. So, you know, I've developed some new friendships along the way, and I keep my circle tight for that reason. You know, it's like I'm not trying to let a bunch of people in and, you know, be the life of the party anymore. Whereas in high school I was, and that's a little bit of a regret. I wish I would not have focused so much on like having a big circle and being the spot versus, like you said, do more. You know, for me, just being more part of the what's happening, you know, football games on a Friday night, dances or whatever, like just
another
being more
thing
social with the regular people.
Because I want to focus on what you're saying right there. Like, one of my other regrets that has to do with high school and like doing more is like getting discouraged my first year. My high school fought me so much on everything my first year. And I was kind of discouraged after that throughout the rest of high school when it came to sports. But like I really wanted to do sports. And I really wanted to do wrestling. I was going to start out in wrestling, and then wherever it went from there was how it was going to go. And I had a gym teacher throughout high school. This motherfucker was an old-ass dude, gray hair, looked like fucking Chuck Norris. He always used to tell me, Fred Zito, I'll never forget him. He always used to tell me, yo, you can play football. Your shoulders are bigger than some of these motherfuckers that are playing on this team. You should go try out. And because they fought me tooth and nail about wrestling, I was like, there's no way they're going to let me run a fucking football field. You know what I'm saying? And I wish, like, I regret not trying that. Not trying, at least trying out. You know what I mean?
Fantasy football leagues with totally blind, and he's deaf since birth. And he played football all the way through high school, like at a public high school in Pennsylvania.
That's hard. Wow.
Yeah, but shout out MD.
I'm gonna be honest. Like when it comes to regrets, like I don't have any like big, wide scale regrets. Like I regret specific things in life, like kind of. So regionals in wrestling. There was one year I went to regionals, and I was not doing. A lot of people think that like you can just show up to practice and go to class and you'll be, you know, good at what you do. But a lot of it's extra stuff you do off the mat or even outside of class or whatever. You know, you have to invest extra time in it. And I wasn't investing the extra time, and I knew I was gonna suck. But I went ahead anyway, and of course I sucked, and I had to drop out that year. I've got a lot of regrets like that. I also regret, you know, like specifically like when you could have said something differently and you might have changed the situation that ended up being bad. Like there's quite a few of those. I don't know. But overall, I don't have like, you know, huge regrets like I lost several $1 million or some shit. Well, several $100,000. Like mostly it's small things in life, but small things accumulate over time and they teach you things, I think. So
for sure. I think too, I mean, I think the question that Dan proposed was like, what's one thing? But I think we all can probably admit that there's multiple things. And it's not that I would change any of these things. These are just, I love the way things have turned out for me. Do I wish they would have been better? 100%. Or different? Yes. But I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change how I got to this point. Actually, I take that back. I would take better care of myself so that health-wise, that way I probably wouldn't be blind if I would have taken better care of myself. But, it is what it is. The other thing, too, is like, and I think we've talked about this like on an actual podcast, is just like relationships with people, like family and stuff like that. Like, especially with my mom, even a better relationship with my pops. I would have focused more on that kind of shit. I was too focused on those years when those kind of things really count. Like as a young kid, sure, whatever. But like those teenage years and stuff, like you're trying to figure shit out and navigate through high school and navigate through puberty and shit like that. Like I would have tried to have a better relationship with my pops and ask more questions and like tried to learn more shit. He was big into cars. I would have tried to like kind of learn more of like what his likes and things were and I have a lot of interest in what he's interested in, but I can't do half the shit that he knows how to do.
But the point is definitely having that relationship, man. And that's the big
things like that. So I would have
big
definitely
thing.
made better relationships with people around me. 100%.
Yeah.
844-997-0775. Share your stories, regrets, anything like that. What do you got? Let us know. Hashtag comfortably poor on Twitter at CPPod100. And that's the same on Instagram and Facebook as well. Give it a follow. Hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube as well, please.
Yes, and also go check out the latest episode in the all podcast places: Apple, iHeart, Google, Spotify. Everywhere. Stitcher. We have the latest episode up where we would let you know if we would suck some dick, if we would slob on some knob for fucking a Billy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hilarious story. Let's go to the phone line. Shay wants to call in and talk about her regrets. Yo.
What up, fellas?
Hello.
Yo.
How's it going?
What do you regret? Do you regret listening to the Comfortably Poor podcast?
She's got visitors.
Yeah,
Those
I know.
they're gonna anal probe her.
So,
yikes.
You said visitors.
So, I was always given the opportunities to go to, the sports camps with other blind people, right? And I never took them up on it because, I wasn't interested in sports. I'm still kind of not interested. But I think, if I were to have went, I would have gotten, more respect and more, knowing of how sports work. So I kind of regret not doing that.
Amongst who, though? Like, your friends or, family?
What do you mean?
Like, the respect that you were talking about you would have gotten more of. Is it from your family?
The more respect for sports. The more respect for
just sports in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but is there anybody specifically that you were looking for that respect or validation from? Because, everybody has their interests, right? Like, my brother wasn't really playing sports until he was 12, 11, playing fucking soccer or something.
That's not a sport.
So was it?
But if I would have done it, then I would have actually gotten
So you
I'm about to kick the shit out of Adam right now. Hold on. Stop. I'm not the biggest fan of soccer, okay? I'm not that type of spick. But I gotta fucking rewind for a second. Did you just say running a field and kicking a ball is not a sport, but you will watch NASCAR? You really fucking should jump off a fucking cliff. You fucking piece of shit. At least it uses a fucking ball, not the ball of your foot.
Yeah. So wait.
All they do is run or drive around a track for hours on end. What kind of
takes great stamina.
Woo-hoo! And they got the American flag and some beer company printed on the side of a fucking truck.
And they have to drag around
Fucking
that
bullshit.
So wait,
Now we're just gonna see
Shit,
big
shit,
mud
wait.
fucking drags in their back of their fucking truck bumpers
Yeah.
that say MAGA.
Okay.
That's all we're gonna have for the
Rednecks.
rest of our lives.
We love rednecks. No, but wait, shit. So are you saying that
Speak for
you
yourself.
want to be more into sports today? Like as you see things, you wish you have more interest in that?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Essentially, yes.
that.
Because, like, I've always fucked with swimming because swimming was always what I had done. And I had actually listened to basketball on the radio for a bit, and I kind of got into that. But football, baseball,
And you have brothers that are into sports,
any of
right?
these
So
other
like,
ones,
you have
all of
brothers
these
that are into
other
sports, so it
ones,
gives you more
like,
leverage.
I don't get the shit.
You have
what is it
brothers
about
that-
sports that
So
you don't get? Like, what is it that's what's the problem for you with sports? Like, is it just keeping
To
track of
answer
what's going
Dan's
on?
To answer Dan's question, my oldest brother and my youngest brother both used to play football, so I would always go to the football games, but I still never really understood.
Didn't understand, yeah.
What was going on. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was going on in football until I had the commentators. You know what I'm saying? And then some people to explain.
Even with
stuff,
the
and
commentators,
then also
I
looking
still
up-
didn't get it.
Yeah, but also looking up the sport. Like when I started getting into football heavily, I literally went online and looked up how the game works, all the fucking rules. Like I sat and tried to learn it because like I didn't want to feel like I was wasting time. And unless you're willing to devote that type of shit into it, yeah, like it's hard to become interested in something you don't understand later. For sure.
Like, I made tons of basketball, and basketball actually went pretty quick for me. So, like,
I fucking hate basketball. Can I just be honest? Can I explain why I
Thank you for
hate
the
fucking
call.
basketball?
'Cause I don't know.
Thank
Yeah,
you for the
it's
call, Trey. Fucking basketball pisses me off. It's these rich ass, whiny, tall dudes. Whoever
Well, isn't
thought
every sport
tall
rich
black
just
dudes are
for-
fucking whiny little cunts. Whiny little rich
Jesus.
cunts. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a certain amount of points if I throw it from this line. What a
Hang on.
sport.
What a
the white
sport.
are the white dudes
Basketball's
are the white
quite
ones
the
less
skill,
whiny?
though.
What a sport. Let me stand at a line and throw a ball. Hopefully it makes it in there. Have good aim.
I mean, isn't that just about any sport? Football, QB's got to throw the
Pretty
ball
much.
to his guys and score.
There-
Baseball, the pitcher's throwing the ball, and the
there's
guy's gotta
more
hit it.
responsibility for teamwork when it comes to other sports.
So
Basketball is
that's
a
the thing
very
with basketball.
individualized
Basketball is
sport.
definitely a team sport, but not enough players want to
Not
play it that way.
like
today.
baseball or football.
In the 90s,
Not like
there was
baseball.
definitely more teamwork. Today, you got LeBron, and everyone just wants to give LeBron.
Yeah,
the
no, today
ball.
you got the super teams.
It's very
Like, that's my biggest issue.
individualized. Yeah, I'll give you
It's
that.
a
I have
big
huge
like,
problem
oh,
with
let me
that. I have
follow
a
the
huge-
train or whatever. And it's like, no, that's not
Yes,
the fucking
100%.
shit of sports. That's not the aim of sports. The aim of sports
I
is
hate
to
that
huddle up
guys
as
are
a
talking
team.
to each other in the off season and trying to create these teams.
Yes, bro.
Oh, hey, let's play together next season. Let's see how we can get our
Yes.
GM to try and talk to one another and make a trade so that you and I can play. Like, I hate that. There's
Yes,
no
that's
competition
what
anymore.
I am
in the
fucking
90s, Jordan would have
When
never
Jordan was playing, bro,
paired up with Larry
Jabbar.
Bird. They would have never talked to each other. Magic would have never
1,000 Magic.
Talk to
Thank
Jordan.
you. Yep.
like
you.
these guys
Thank
would
you.
not have been hitting each other.
It was
up in the offseason and
competition.
been like, let's play together. Yes, it was. They always wanted to
It was
cut each
real
other's throats.
competition.
Like, yes, I 100%
It was like
agree.
it was as intense as boxing. If you saw niggas in
I
basketball,
like boxing. I'm a good fan.
In
I'm a
the
big
eight,
fan
I
of
love boxing too. If you saw niggas in like the cutthroat type of mentality they were in the 80s, 90s in sports, man, even just in football, you look at some of the rules that they're implementing now and how pussy it's gotten. And I'll go back to watch a game from the 90s. And I'm like, damn, they were fucking each other up crazy, boy. It was crazy. crazy.
Yeah.
Sports is watered down, bro.
And then you got me that I'm a huge fan of baseball, and a lot of people fucking can't stand baseball because it's so slow. But I'm such a
See,
fan
I
of
love baseball. That was the first sport I fell in love with because of my mom. Like my whole family is Mets fans, so I saw baseball growing up, and I learned. Like, people learn football rules through their families, and just by watching it when they come up, that's how I learned baseball. I know all about baseball because I came up with it. It's not that I had to read on it like football.
Yeah, and I think baseball. That's a sport I played the most growing up, and it's like it's an acquired taste because it can be slow, but it's also it's a fun.
Well, I come from a Caribbean island.
Sport. Yeah, it's big in baseball. It's a fun thing to do with like the family or something. Like you can go to a game, and sure you can pay hundreds of dollars and get the good seats, but you can pay $20 a person and get the nosebleed seats, get some hot dogs, enjoy a good time, watch a game. It's the atmosphere.
As a night out,
you get
to not be in the house.
Yeah,
1,000%.
On like a July.
Why not?
July evening, when it's not super hot out anymore. It's like 75 degrees, 7:30.
Nice
game
cool,
kicks off. Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, my favorite thing about baseball games and like basketball, any kind of game like that, and going to it is the food. I love the food. The food there is
of course
phenomenal. I love that shit.
But
really, I'm not
see
a
if I
sports
can find
fan like
this.
that. Honestly,
This past season, there were like stadiums to fight each other for having like some of the craziest food, like pairings and doing crazy shit. Like, let's see if I can find this real quick. Like Arizona, I think they did some sort of like foot-long corn dog, and somehow they stuffed it with like bacon and chili and cheese sauce. It was like a bacon, chili, cheese corn dog. I was like,
oh
what?
My God.
Someone did like a pizza bacon cheeseburger or something, like with an actual like slice of pizza on it. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Sports places are catering to the stoners, man. I'm telling you. Stoner creations.
Yeah.
That's some shit you would find at a restaurant that's like on a munchies menu. The munchies. I started in Jersey. I was put on.
Jack in the Box?
I love that fucking munchies menu. I love Jack in the Box. You know what's actually really crazy?
It has everything. You can get a fucking teriyaki chicken rice bowl at Jack in the Box.
You can get a fucking.
You can get jalapeno poppers,
onion rings.
Like, yeah.
You can get actually pretty decent onion rings where they actually use real onions, which I was really shocked to see them not using fucking stupid ass whole batter.
Yeah.
But not only that, you get these little bullshit
bag.
fucking tacos for $1. You get fucking.
That are good. They're so good.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're not great. Look, they're not great.
Not if you
They're
get
not great.
lining.
But for a buck, you grab 4 of them bitches and a chicken sandwich. I'm good. Thank you. Give me a drink.
I'm good to go, baby.
Dunzo.
And people shit on me all the time, but if you're gonna have a really shitty crushed up ice with fucking sweet milk type of milkshake, get it there.
Milkshakes.
They get it. They make it so thick, and they make it look
Oreo
so
milkshake
real.
that they do.
The Oreo or just the vanilla, boy, that shit is so thick, and I'm shocked. Like, I'm like, damn, like these shit, they do a good job at making this fake
potato
milk.
wedges are so fucking good.
Yeah, boy.
I just love the cheese fries and a hot dog, dude. Cheese fries and a fucking Chicago style.
You need to go to a ballpark, bro.
Cheese fries.
I was gonna say, I'm
Go
even
to a
a fan
ballpark.
of just sitting there, getting a couple beers and cracking peanuts, man. Just eating.
You never been to
some
U.S.
salty-ass
Cellular Field?
peanuts and
U.S.
shit.
Cellular Field is a ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dan's talking about going to go to a ballpark. Like that's the
Oh,
ballpark.
it was because of your
Oh.
choice of food. I was making a joke because of your choice of food.
Okay, so let's see.
That shit's great. That shit's fucking wonderful.
What's up, Adam? What happened?
So one, the Red Sox do creme brulee French toast. I don't know that I want to eat French toast at a ballpark.
That's too much.
But
Creme brulee, French toast.
Detroit does a 18-inch chili cheese dog with tater tots, sour
And
cream
it goes for $47.95. You know, can you
Chicago
believe I've done
does some sort of chicken
How long have we been
sandwich.
on so far?
Yeah, they do a
Like
few
30
different types of
minutes,
chicken sandwich.
40
Seems to be
minutes.
all the
About
rage.
30 minutes to about an hour almost. I have not smoked bud yet today. You guys proud of
Whoa.
me?
Brando's even ahead of you.
Yeah,
on
I'm
that
sober. I'm
Yeah,
fucking
I've been
sober.
getting fucking blitzed.
I'm
for it,
too
bro.
sober.
Like,
I need to get
last
stoned.
last couple
Give me
days.
1 minute, guys. Once I get stoned, we'll be on my fucking. I'll be on my A game. You understand me? Oh, you want to play that voicemail?
every day.
1,000. Thank you. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
R.I.P. Nate.
Oh,
My nigga Nate had a stroke the day after my birthday in 2011. I'll never forget it.
I do love the bottle of whiskey.
Did he?
I got some whiskey here.
White Sox do a Cuban burger, half-pound patty, pastrami, corned beef.
Those are the best burgers, bro.
On a
Anytime I hear
burger?
half-pound anything,
That sounds
it's-
crazy.
On a burger. Yeah. Toronto does poutine, half pound of fries. Crazy poutine. That's a Canada thing, though. Y'all ever fuck with poutine?
Nah,
The
I've heard of
fries
it though.
with the
I've heard
cheese
of it.
curds and gravy and stuff.
I've
pretty
been
good.
I will
in
tell you-
Canada, and just because I don't like gravy, that's not my thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I would,
There's a lot
I
of
mean,
people
I've been
that
in
don't
line
like
and they've been
gravy.
like, "You
I
want to
fuck with
try it?"
gravy,
I'm like,
man.
"No, I don't
I
want to
love
fucking
gravy.
try."
I
that
feel
shit.
like
Fuck that shit.
I feel
I
like
love
this is
gravy,
such a
man.
minority to me. Like I know more people that like gravy that don't. So it's interesting.
I
that you
agree.
said that.
I agree. I know more people that like gravy
Yeah,
than don't.
it
I'm
is.
just one
No,
of the
you're
ones that
100%.
don't.
It's like an acquired taste for thing. I don't know if it's like the consistency
I
of it,
enjoy
but fuck,
gravy
I love like
so
biscuits
much.
and gravy and shit.
I hate gravy.
With sausage, bro. Oh,
Yeah, that chunky sausage too. Give me that thick chunk.
yes,
Big
bro.
old buttermilk biscuit. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Extra pepper.
Right out the
Extra
oven
pepper.
fresh, where it's nice. It has the
Yeah.
nice crisp top layer, right? And then you just chew into
God.
this soft inside. Oh, I love
Gravy
biscuits
Give
so
me a
much.
side of bacon on that. Some crispy hash browns. Call it a day. Game over. That sounds delicious.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm shitting on your fucking
last
restaurants.
thing,
I'm shitting in your
Arizona
restaurant's
does an
foyer
asada
if you
dog.
give me some
That's what it
bullshit
is, too.
frozen fucking biscuits.
I'm not a big biscuit person,
what was I
but
gonna look
you
up? I
guys
was
might
just
like
gonna look
poutine
something
if
up.
you like that. I don't rock with that poutine shit. But
Oh, poutine is good.
Give-
We have a food truck here because that's we're big on food trucks here, and they do.
Yeah.
There's a poutine food truck.
yeah. I don't fucking rock with that. How do you prepare your poutine?
Alright.
How do you like yours?
I mean, I've tried them all. I'm a pretty standard dude. Like, give me the cheese curds, bacon bits, brown gravy. Got to be crinkle cut fries. I'm a crinkle cut fry guy. I like straight fries too, but give me the crinkle cuts. The
I was
food
about
truck
to say
here, they
you're
do
a
straight
basic
crinkle cut.
ass fucking early bird special having motherfucker,
For the
right?
poutine, yeah. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. Their big thing here.
Do you go to the
the
diners and have some fucking? No, I'm
I'm
not
a
shitting on
huge
these because these
seafood-
are
I'm a
good. But you
huge
have some
seafood
home
person.
fries with the fucking onions and peppers.
I don't go to the early bird special, but I love some fucking O'Brien potatoes. Hell yeah.
I
make
hope
that
you know
shit, like,
that
every morning.
you can get home fries outside of the early bird special.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, I was just making sure. I was a little concerned.
This motherfucker acts like I don't know how to eat. Please. Trust me. I know how to eat.
Says I'm
I
fat.
know where to
I know
get
how
some
to
food,
eat.
bro.
I know,
I'm
we
fat,
know,
I can get
Adam. That's where you are. Where you are.
I know. But I'm not even fat. I'm a solid 175. I'm average. I'm healthy. Goddammit.
You can see your dick.
what
You
you
can see
call
your
it?
dick.
Yes, 100%.
That's
I can
what
see my
matters.
toes,
That's
too.
all that matters, baby.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You can see a little fucking pecker. You'll be all right.
Do you have to lift anything up to see it though?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah, well, when I asked if you can see your pecker, that means no effort. No effort attached.
No pulling restraints. Oh shit, dude. Somebody, I found out about a bitch.
If you haven't fucked with us, like Dan said, new podcast came out on Monday. I'm gonna pull up a voicemail. Shout out Shay again. We're gonna play your voicemail. She dropped a voicemail in asking us a question regarding the podcast on Monday. Go listen to it. We won't talk about everything here, but we will talk about a little bit on Monday's podcast. Where'd it go? I think it's this one. Sorry, I didn't label it.
Yeah, yup. It's the Stoner Kid Young question. I thought y'all niggas was live. I was gonna come in here and fuck with it, but regardless, I'm gonna still show some love, man. Shout out to the Comfortably Poor podcast. A nigga can't talk, but shout out to y'all, bro, always shutting it down with the funniest shit, bro. Y'all are hilarious. I fuck with you. I listen. I tune in. I smoke a lot of weed to your shit, bro. Shout out to all my niggas on the podcast, bro. All the homies, Danny, Brando, and Adam. Some of the goofiest motherfuckers doing this shit, bro. It's love. Peace. Little bitch.
For showing love, big dog.
Yeah.
That's the homie. Question ATL on Instagram and Twitter, man. Follow him.
Real shit.
I'm not sure why it didn't go to my downloads folder, but apparently it didn't. Either way, sorry, Shay, but the question was, so we touched on the last 25 minutes of Monday's podcast gets a little wild, a little loose. We get a little loose. Literally. I talk about how loose I would
You get very loose. Yeah, a little too loose. Adam can. I don't think anybody's ready for
the question of what would you do for X amount of dollars came up. And one of the questions proposed was sucking a dick. So Shay reversed the question and said, would you get your dick sucked by a dude on dude, for X amount of dollars? What's that number to let that happen? We were throwing out $1 billion in some of our scenarios, but $1 billion just to get your dick sucked by a dude, that's a lot of money. I don't think that offer would ever
That's a lot of money. It's not going to happen.
$1 million to let a dude suck your dick? I mean, zip.
The thing is, that question was a no-brainer for Adam, because if he said he would definitely get his ass blown out for a Billy, then I would assume that he would allow somebody to perform some favors on him. Not only does he get satisfied, but he also gets the money, right?
I get the cash.
That's how Adam is thinking about it.
Of course.
That's how Adam is thinking about it. I get serviced I get serviced financially and physically.
Yes. 100%.
Brando, where are you sitting on this?
Don't ask me for shit.
Yeah, the answer is no. I'm not letting anyone suck my dick for $1 billion, $1 million, $1,000, $500, $5.
Brando always sounds so disgusted when we ask these questions. He's like,
What the fuck is wrong?
He's like,
with
look,
you?
I'm a dirty motherfucker, but when y'all start talking about dudes sucking dudes, like,
yeah, dude, I really don't know what the fuck these questions are crazy to me. What the fuck am I hearing? G?
He's like, I'll let my lady slide it in my ass, but
yes, she can.
See, that's where it went fucking crazy.
Bro,
that's where it's still crazy for me.
He said, my lady can squat over the top of me and drop a deuce, but don't let a dude stick his dick in my butt.
It's a problem, bro. Never in life. That does not happen. Mrs. Collins' baby boy will not be doing that.
I just think I think I totally understand where he's coming from in that. That's another. He said it the other day, and it was so funny. I fucking didn't hear it until I heard the podcast. He said, "There's goo in there."
Yeah, he said there's goo in there, baby batter.
There's baby batter.
And I laughed at that because I literally believe you know, I was having the conversation. My friends heard the podcast afterwards. Shout out to my man Miguel. Miguel was like, even the idea of like my girl bringing a thing that looks like a dick anywhere near my ass is fucking crazy, right? It's fucking crazy. and I think that's to Brando's point where it's like, well, that might be a dick, but that dick is attached to a person that functions only when blood goes through it from that person's heart who is instinctively an animal, right? Like, it's just what it is. It's just what it is.
With two enormous testosterone making semen factories. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not, no dude.
There's
is
no,
about to
see, the thing is,
I'm good on that.
this
dude.
question can be can have multiple things to it because, like, if the dude sucks me off, or do I have to get hard? Because most likely I'm not gonna get hard in that scenario. Most likely,
So,
my dick is gonna stay.
Are you concerned that if you get hard, that's a sign of you enjoying it?
1,000%. 1,000%. If you get hard, you wanted that shit. You cannot fucking say. You cannot say you didn't want that shit. That's like. Oh, forget it. I can't make that joke.
Yeah.
I was about to make a rape joke of the year, man.
That's not healthy.
Woo!
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is the Comfortably Poor podcast, people. Fuck with us on the regular. You get this kind of shit twice a week. We'll be doing the same thing again on Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific. Hashtag Comfortably Poor on Twitter, 844-997-0775. Share your comments, questions, stories, whatever you got with us. We appreciate y'all fucking with us. Oh, my God. Jesus. Okay.
It might just work like that.
Look, there's shit that goes on behind the scenes sometimes. We're not going to talk about it, but
It might just work like that. It might just happen. But that shit should stand up on a nigga.
Oh, Lord.
You don't know
Lord
why.
help us
If
all.
your dick gets hard in a scenario like that where it's money,
Ooh.
If that happens, come and see the best lawyer in town. I will come up. I'll write you an It's an autonomic reaction.
Yeah.
you like that shit, yo.
All right. So everybody's been doing Instagram Live has been on point the last couple weeks with everyone being quarantined. So if you need,
we need to go on there, fellas.
Just check out the Instagram Live because people are doing shit, man. Tory Lanez and Boozy got some ladies doing it on there, doing it.
Nigga. I
want
want to be Tory Lanez when I grow up, dog. I want to be
need to-
Tory motherfucking Lanez
Yo.
when I grow up.
Yo.
That
Lil
nigga
Boosie
has
had
so
a
much
chick on
swag
there
with
the
these
other
chicks.
day that shit
clapping her
sounded like
ass.
she was in a one chick, but she sounded like 25 people clapping their hands, slapping them
Thunderous.
cheeks. Woo!
Thunderous ass, bruh.
And
And then
Boosie
you had
talks
that
a
one-
lot. And
I
was
saw the
speechless.
Boosie one. He was like, "Yeah, you nasty."
He had to shut it off. He had to take it down.
That man was like, "Woo!"
Wait,
So
so
do
are we
yourself
looking
a
at
favor
one?
and go check
We're
out-
looking at one chick like clap her ass, or are we looking at a bunch of chicks?
Yeah, no, it was one girl. It was one girl in there clapping her ass, but it was so thunderous that it sounded like she was in a room, like just got done
My
watching a
nigga,
performance
that
on
ass
stage,
was so
and there was
fat.
500 people clapping. It was so loud. Like she was.
Gee, what did her
that
ass
booty
look like?
was voluptuous,
What did her
large,
ass look- Jesus.
slap, like
Crazy. You got the video? Oh,
it's just like
I love an ass like
Yeah,
that,
do you
man.
have
I
that
need
video?
that in my life.
I'm sure I could find it. Let me.
You know, I was talking the other day on the podcast about the triangles. You know, you got the triangles for the fat ass that massage the dick. Yeah, bro. It's like beautiful. It's beautiful.
I have another one I want to get to about Joe Budden, too.
If you're built like that.
He put out a real interesting one about women.
There's something that might make me believe in Jesus.
Nah. No.
Speaking of Jesus.
There's not an ass out there good enough to make me do that.
Well, you don't know yet. But here's the deal. I heard one of the craziest fucking one of the craziest questions the other day on the Brilliant Idiots. Shout out to Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. So they were talking
Andrew
about
Schultz, real quick, underrated comedian, man. Such an underrated comedian.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate you saying that because I've been following that
He's
man.
going to be kind of like the
since the
next
beginning.
Burt Kreischer, where Burt Kreischer flew under the radar for a handful of years, and now he's pretty big right now.
Yeah, but see, their style of comedy is so different, right? Yeah, for sure.
Different. I just mean the popularity, though.
Oh yeah, but fucking, I love Andrew because he took the digital space. He took the internet by the balls and was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this the way no other comedian has done it, and I fuck with that, man. He created a lane for himself. But they were talking about why, if God could resurrect Jesus, why was it in 3 days? Why didn't he just do it that fucking day? And Charlemagne goes, oh, there was some anticipation. You got to build the anticipation, you know? And he was like, do you think there was Andrew goes, and this, for some reason, for Charlemagne, it was too much. He had to fucking divert from the conversation. But he goes, Andrew goes, do you think there was some skepticism? Because if God was your father, don't you think he would have brought you back to life with your hands filled? Holy shit, yo.
That is deep.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Oh.
All right. I'm going to play this other one while I'm looking for the boozy thing, and we can talk about that. This was, Budden put this out.
My man Budden.
Yeah.
Doing his Doug Thistle.
My man just got Tissie Slide himself in the fucking chat the other day.
What happened?
Drake's new song was called Tissie Slide.
All right. So what are your guys' thoughts on about what he is saying?
I typically 9 times out of 10 agree with this man, so.
And you're going
All
to.
will just
You're
give a
going
nigga
to.
some raw sex. Sometimes y'all will invite yourselves over 5 times a week. Sometimes y'all will want to call every day and talk. Bam, I'm not a dickhead. I'm going to answer the phone and talk. Let's talk. But no, I have not said I wanted to be your boyfriend. I have not said I'm looking for a relationship. I have not said that I view you in that light. I am just enjoying what's happening. And because you are trying to sell yourself as the greatest girlfriend in the world, you wondering why it's not reciprocal.
So, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Of course, I always agree about women inserting themselves.
And I think we touched on this briefly in the past.
I was gonna say, yeah, I thought we talked about this at some point.
Yeah, but I want to bring it another level of it up that I don't think we brought up. I think that it's really important that we start putting out this type of message, and I'm glad that he's saying that kind of shit because there's expectancy. The women have this expectancy that if they give us their time, we should give them our time. And if we don't...
So I guess maybe I'm
we're
interpreting
an
this
asshole.
video the wrong way. Is it that, or is it I interpreted it as spending all this time, a female spends all this time with a man, and because he brought up the boyfriend thing, she's interpreting it as, hey, we're in a relationship, whereas the man hasn't stated, I'm your boyfriend,
But that's
only
what I'm
with
saying.
you.
Insertion. She's inserting
So,
herself
in
into a
2020,
situation that's
though,
not even something.
in 2020, are those conversations being had? Because I know for me, like as a teenager, when you started dating and stuff, yes, you had those conversations. Hey, will you be my girlfriend? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? Are people having those conversations today, or when you meet a person,
I don't think it
and you
goes
start
like that.
hanging out with them regularly? See, that's how I interpreted it. I thought that's what he was trying to get at. Like, there's no label on anything, so a woman thinks
Nah.
she's doing all this effort, but not getting the
Okay, so that's
courtesy
interesting.
back from the man.
Because I'm taking
I
it
didn't
as
quite interpret
I'm
it like that.
I'm taking it as we're talking, everything is cool. I have not mentioned anything about wanting to be in a relationship.
A relationship. Yeah.
Everything's been cool. Everything's been like, we're laughing, we're joking. I'm going to answer your calls because I'm not going to be an asshole and ignore you. But here you are. At some point, that's going to be enough for you. You're going to have enough of that. You're going to either want to move forward.
What Dan said is how I interpret it, yeah.
You're either going to want to move forward
Okay.
or you want to fucking have something with this person. And now you try to start inserting yourself in a situation where it's like, bitch, like, everything's cool. We're having a good time. We're laughing. We're enjoying everything. Why you got to push this relationship narrative? Why you got to push this boyfriend narrative? Because now everything's going to be fucked up because there's expectancy.
Okay,
You see
so
what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like,
that's
instead of you just riding it out.
that's kind of what I was getting at, I guess. So there is pushing a narrative, which I agree. But I think the expectations of what a relationship or what the narrative is different in 2020 versus what it may have been in 95 or even 2000 or even maybe even
Definitely.
2010.
I think time
But-
changes things.
So
right?
when you're right, exactly. But when you're
I
when
think
you're
the question in
pushing this
2020 is, are you
narrative-
ready to make this thing official? And if those words aren't
Okay.
said,
Yeah, I'll give you that.
if those words
sounds
aren't
right.
said, that's it. Like, obviously, if you're dating, right? What was the difference between dating one person? Like, dating to me is something that you do actively. You date 5 people at the same time. You go out and you try different people and you meet, you use different services, or you go out to different bars and you meet different people at all these different locations. That's the act of dating.
Right?
So when people go, oh, these 2 people are dating, like, no, they're boyfriend and girlfriend if they're spending that type of shit, and most of their time is spent not going somewhere to date. Right? So
yeah,
instead of having the young mentality, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's, we'll talk for a while, and then we'll make this shit official if we both feel ready. If we don't want to make this shit official, then we got to start talking to some other people, baby.
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? So the whole thing about when a lot of people back in the 90s and even the 80s when they use the word dating, there's 2 ways they use it. The first way is how you use it, Dan. Actively going out, going to places like restaurants, or going out and doing things together, going on shopping dates, and then maybe grabbing lunch or something. That sort of dating, going on dates. But the other type of dating is they are actually together. That's actually what certain people mean when they say dating. In fact, if you ask, like in my girl's generation, right? If you ask her, she'll say that, she uses it in both of those ways, right? So I think those older people, they use it like that. But we today, yeah, absolutely. Like, are we official? Or another thing you hear very often, are we a thing? Like, you guys a thing
Yeah, are we
now?
doing this
Like,
thing?
Yeah, like, so, I think, nomenclature and parlance change things over time, for sure. Especially the way people talk about stuff. But, yeah, that's how I interpret it.
I don't think that, like, And I want to clarify, that's not my interpretation of what dating is. I understand that most people view dating as, oh, I'm talking to somebody. And we occasionally go out and we have lunch together and we've been spending time, we've been texting, good morning, good night texts, all that fucking shit. And they call that dating.
So,
and I just really think that I think the word dating should be the act of dating.
So Sam brings up a good point.
If you are talking to somebody, okay, talk. I'm talking to you.
So Sam brings up a good point that we're all in the moment, and like, is it kind of like leading the woman on, so that when she wants more, to Sam's comment, we duck our tail and kind of run. So are we as the men leading a woman on by not either having that conversation after she comes over 5 nights out of the week, or whatever? Like, where do we?
That's
where
hard
does
to
the
say,
man
'cause
stand?
I
with
want to
that?
be the
Like,
asshole
are
and
we
be like,
leading them
just
on?
take it how it is, baby. Have some patience. You have a whole life
Wait,
to live.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
Hang on. Clear it up. Run that by me one more time.
He's saying,
are we leading them on?
He's saying
by?
that Sam is asking, are we leading them on by, just that talking period? If we're just talking constantly and it's just going on for months, and she's already come over to the crib, and maybe she came on a Friday and she's been leaving clothes because she knows she's gonna stay to a Sunday next week. That kind of shit. Like, how much of that is leading a woman on and not making it official? Like, how far does it go? And I get the question, but I also believe patience is patience, right? And how much are you willing to put up with? Because if you're looking for something more, but if you're looking for something more and you don't feel like that part is ever going to be fulfilled, that commitment is ever going to be fulfilled, you got to make the adult decision and say, yo, he's not going to fulfill this for me, no matter how many times he has me over, no matter how many times he lets me keep my clothes here. You gotta be honest about it.
But wait. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand exactly how you're even in a situation where you're leaving your clothes at someone's house and you don't know what this guy's about. Like, the conversation about what kind of a situation you're in, like, are we together? Are we friends with benefits? Are we not friends with benefits? Are we going to be in a relationship? Are we not going to be? That conversation happens before you start leaving your clothes there, though. Like that's not a conversation.
Not if you own your own place as a dude and you're having her over to sleep and fuck her.
Yeah, no, but again, that's what I'm talking about. Between two people, that conversation should happen long before you feel comfortable enough to leave your clothes anywhere.
Fine, not leaving clothes. Okay, fine, not leaving clothes, but coming over to have sex quite frequently, or you go out on another date, or you go see each other. Y'all been doing this for a few months. You go on a few dates.
Yeah, a few months,
and you come back to the crib afterward.
I'm gonna be letting someone know like what the deal is. It's not gonna be something I have to wait around months to. I'd say 2 weeks for me.
I think after a week. After a week,
yeah.
If you've linked
2-3
up
weeks
3-4 times during that week, you gotta.
Nah, baby, slow down.
There's gonna be a conversation.
Have some patience.
There's gonna be. That's what I'm. Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be a conversation of something happening.
Are we moving forward? What are we doing here?
What are we doing
each
here?
Other's booty call? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not going more than a week because I am more of a long-term relationship person. So it's like, for me, it's like, look, I'm cool
Get some pussy.
with
Get some pussy. Don't just settle down because she's the dedicated one to come 4 times a week and the other bitch didn't.
No, but
the other bitch might actually treat you better.
But you have to. But you can usually make a decision on: do you want to keep this person around? There's two things. Let's at least two.
But I
basic
think,
decisions.
all right.
Do you want to keep this person around?
Because I think
no?
we went too far with Sam's question too. I think to her point is when the woman does bring it up, like, what are we doing here? As a man, we tend to bow down. Not more in a back out and kind of duck and run. Like, so when or how or why, and I don't know what I was going to try and say. I just kind of drew a blank, but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
At that point,
I also kind of laughed and I probably threw you off
much,
a little bit.
I guess, as a man, do you just come out the gate is kind of what I was going to get at and just be like, yo, this is what we're doing.
Okay, I want to address a couple things that Sam is saying in the chat.
Guess what? I'm fucking you,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking this girl over here. I got the Applebee's waitress. I got the chick from the hair salon. Like,
yeah.
Are you doing that?
You need to know.
Or,
you need to have a good idea as a man of what the fuck you're actually doing. Like, you should know if you're looking for friends with benefits. You should know if you just want to play the field. You should know if you're a long-term relationship sort of guy.
Okay,
now,
so
of
what
course,
if it's
that's
that
gonna come
second
with
option
age.
and he's playing the field, but she's. This is why I say a lot of
Then
it,
he
the responsibility
needs to tell
falls
her
on women
relatively
because
quickly. He needs to tell her
no,
relatively
and I agree
quickly
with
that
you.
he's
I
playing
agree
the
with
field.
you, but women are stubborn, bro. There are women who the competition lies within them to try to beat that out of them so that they can be the main girl, so that they can be the one, right? Like, they don't care how much sleazy shit you've done or what you've done to hurt other women and all this shit. They're just like, I want to be there. Like, there's something, I need to be with him. And so there's this fight, too, where I think that women need to hold responsibility in that same light. Whereas men need to be straight up right out the gate. Women need to be honest about, you know what I'm saying, not getting something that they want in that moment. Sam said it's funny that the person who's the most impatient person is telling people to be patient. I think that's really hilarious because that's how it always goes. Smokers tell non-smokers not to smoke, right, with a cigarette in their mouth. So that's just the way of the world, right? I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just looking at the chat, more of the chat. Still in the YouTube, if you want to comment there, or use the hashtag comfortably poor, and we will definitely respond to what
and you can
have to
comment
say. We'll
anywhere
try to
you're
get to
listening. I know we do get a couple listeners on Facebook. Comment anywhere you want. YouTube is where we primarily see them, so don't hesitate to share some love on Facebook or Periscope or Twitch, wherever you're at. Just YouTube is what we watch more. So I did find the boozy ass clapping video. See if I can get it to play though. Didn't see like it wanted to play.
Nessa is saying, agreed, Sam.
It takes
Put it back, get it right.
it's a little
Yeah, nigga.
further in.
Put that ass up there, bitch.
Ooh, you nasty. You nasty. Ooh, yes, you nasty. Ooh, you nasty.
It's coming. Here he comes.
Ooh. I hear it. I hear you.
Cakes, bro. Cakes.
Jesus.
She had to be tired after that.
Nasty. You nasty. I love it. You are so erotic.
You are so erotic. he pronounced the E and the C strong as fuck.
That matters the edited version too of the song. Yeah. Clap that ass, bitch.
Insanity.
That's sad.
Ooh, that ass will make you catch a heart attack. Suck on your fingers. Oh, yes. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Goodbye.
He's so crazy. That is a thunderous ass. That
Let me finish reading Nessa's comment.
Yeah, sorry. I just got excited because I found the video.
Damn that bitch. Oh my God.
Sorry. Had to play it. Sorry.
Woo. Oh.
Making that ass clap.
Where
Break
do
yourself.
I find me one of those? I need,
Show me what
I need
you
to go to
working with.
Atlanta strip club. COVID-19, get the fuck up on out of here, nigga.
City,
Nessa. Nessa says, agreed, Sam. Men are oftentimes terrible communicators. Expect women to be mind readers, and then later think
often in there. Jeez.
Later think that they have discussed things.
Oh no! No. Hold on. Women do that a lot too, and that drives me. Okay, maybe women in my life.
You don't explain it because I have a couple of things to say to that.
I hate having a conversation with someone, and I know this can happen to both people, men and women, and people forget things, but
Yeah.
specifically knowing that we've had a very specific conversation about something and it gets brought back up maybe like a week later and it's like, we never talked about that. What are you talking about? That makes my fucking top go off. Like when you say, what are you talking about? Or I don't remember.
If I know
that. What are you talking about?
I think one of my biggest things is if I know I said something.
Oh, yes.
And I hear it later said a different way, and I know I said it a certain way because, like, I'm really damaged by women, bro. Like, I fear...
Me too.
I fear having to deal with women's emotions to where I feel like out of emotion, things can be twisted and things, and I just don't have the energy or the capacity to try to fight it. Like,
and it's like you can't prove it. You can't prove like
exactly.
What are you supposed to do? Just record it. Like you can't. And it's always her word against yours. It's never.
See,
that's the problem because it's never like, well,
yeah.
It's from females' point perspective, it's never like, well, maybe you did say it. I don't know. It's always like, no, you didn't. You didn't say that.
No,
it's a for sure answer.
It's never.
I'll try to tell her like,
well,
being
maybe
reasonable about it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
I'll be honest. Like,
crazy.
I've actually threatened to start recording. I've threatened more than a couple times to just start recording general everyday conversations.
Brando's got real world set up in his house. He's just got cameras.
Yeah, like I've threatened to do it because I get sick of people trying to rewrite history. It's like, I know you didn't say that. Like, I know you didn't say that. I know you didn't say it simply because you always say the same thing. And then like more than a few times, you know what? You were right. I did say that. Like she'll say that 2 hours later when you're not fighting.
Well, what I started
but when
doing
you're fighting,
with my
I said no. You didn't say that. You never say that. Like what? I don't know, dude. Like I'm getting.
What
to
I
the
started
point,
doing
like,
with my child's
I'm in that
mother
situation
though.
now, actually,
when my child's mother got out of hand, I would start like whatever the argument was and my position was, I was gonna text it to her. Because there was always going to be proof and a timestamp
so
on
you could
when
come back on it.
we were having this. Yes. You're never going to say, I didn't feel so. Like, I think I've said this on the podcast before. I remember one time she said to me when she was pregnant and she was just all, like, fucking upset with how I felt about it. She was like, I'm just going to have an abortion. I'm just going to get the baby aborted. And I was like, okay. I was like, let's talk about that in the next couple days. I brought it up when I wasn't there in text message so that we could always have it. So that if she said because my position was that night and going forward, I was like, if you decide to do that, that was your decision at the end of the day. I said not one word about you. And I never mentioned it, decided it, never even brought it up. You said it first. So I want you to know that this is now archived for if you do abort this baby. Now I know. Now I know.
Just to address Sam in the comments, she said that we do that to them too. I 100% agree with that. I know for a fact that I do also do that from time to time. But being that we are three dudes talking on a podcast right now about women in our lives, the comment was directed towards women doing that to us. But no, I 100% agree. I know for a fact that I've done it in the past. And even too, for me, and maybe this is just part of growing up. We've mentioned this before too. Like there's things that I've learned from past relationships to help me out. Like even in my current relationship, like I know that this relationship here is probably going to be my life relationship. Like this is the one. I've worked out all the kinks. There, like she can say something to me, and I might not catch it all. And sure, an hour later it'll be like, hey, did you do what I mentioned? What are you talking about? You didn't say nothing. What do you mean? You didn't ask me to do that. Yes, I did. You were doing this. I said blah, 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 blah. And when she does that, it'll spark something. I'm like, oh, fuck me. You're right. My bad. You did say that. But in the moment, I'll be like, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. What are you talking about? I definitely know.
But I think it's human to be discombobulated like that. But I think for everyday things, it's one thing, right? Like,
right.
It's one thing for everyday things. When it's a deep conversation of something that really is
that's when
shaping our relationship or is the foundation of our relationship, and you're just going to make up stuff I said just so it can fit your narrative in the moment and you can have something to pin on me? Nah, bro, it doesn't work that way. We have to at least be fair. The most I would expect you or I would want you to say is, you know what? I don't fucking remember. Just be fucking honest and say, I don't fucking remember what was said. Exactly. I remember glimpses of the conversation. I remember, and we can definitely
but being
refresh
so
or whatever.
Adamant that it didn't get said. Oh,
yes,
the worst.
The adamant shit about it is really the annoying part. That's frustrating. Yeah. Because it's like,
100%.
Dog, I can't, and it's not like I can prove anything. So we're literally fighting over nothing. Nothing.
And that's the downfall too. And so that's something that, going back to Dinosaur Me, is a big thing that I've learned from the past is like, just don't fight over it. Just, you gotta let it go. You have to find a way to be like, okay, I didn't say it. I guess I didn't. Thought I did. Maybe I said it to myself. Whatever. And it eats me up. Like, especially if I know it's something that I said, I'll just be like, yep.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go.
I'm about to hit that. I get you. I'm about to hit that record button, though, going forward, nigga. I'm about to take the Brando tactics.
Bro, I've threatened it so
on
many
some
times.
deep-ass relationships.
I am so sick of people trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of people trying to write history.
844-997-0775. If you got anything about anything that we've talked about so far today, or on Twitter at CPPod100 across all social media platforms. Twitter, Facebook is where it's at the most. Instagram will get there eventually. We're just slow grind, people. Slow grind. We're in this. Headline of the video.
Nothing. Hold on, guys.
You might lose your breakfast. What happened? We lost our feed.
All right, we should be good, fellas. Go ahead, move forward. My computer's freaking out. It's like the processor's acting as if it's being like, we were stuttering on the stream.
Oh, that's that.
Because my processor's freaking out right now. I don't know what. Comfortably, I don't know what that is.
I little life hack too, real quick. And I didn't think about it, but I switched mine, and it seems to actually give me a little bit of boost. With everybody being home right now, most routers run on specific channels, and I don't question me on what the channels were right off the top of my head, but I think it's like 1, 4, 6, 11, 14, and 15. And if you actually can change your router channel to like 11, 14, and 15 or something like that, it'll actually run faster because a lot of people don't know about those last 3 channels.
Hey.
You can get a little faster speed. Most people run on the first 3 channels across internet in most cities. So if you can switch, if you know how to switch your router to a different channel, you might be able to get a little faster speed.
That's hard.
Life hack. There you go.
That is hard.
So again, there's a video here, and I did post it on the Twitter and Facebook page, but there's an audio to this, and I will explain it after we listen to this. It's a little graphic. Be prepared. Maybe get yourself a bucket.
Man said a bucket.
Make sure the displays. See, mine's starting to lag now. I don't know what that's about. Of course, I said it, now my computer lags. Maybe we're all having a...
下雨。
Is she getting
Suck
her
that
Brando
dick.
off?
No, I'll tell you here in a second.
God damn!
Brando, is this getting hard?
I can't. I'm confused.
Okay.
I'm very lost.
I remember a nigga on YouTube
This-
said if a
this
bitch sucking
is-
dick, she got to make it sound like she's slurping spaghetti. She's slurping pop pasta.
This is a woman
I knew it.
eating
I knew it.
live
I knew it.
turtles for lunch.
Live turtles?
That is her sucking the insides of a turtle out of the shell.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This isn't turning me
my
on, but I think
God.
it's pretty cool.
So,
Yo, Asians are crazy. This was
No,
a
bro.
China lady.
bro,
It was
this is some crazy ass shit, man. They say this was in China.
Yeah. I said this was the beginning of COVID 20 when I put it on our Twitter page. I said, this is COVID 20 right here.
Listen,
Like, you can't
I
be
don't
just
know
eating
what
live turtles.
this is crazy, bro. But they do say that's
She
the
was
fucking
slurping it
dumpster,
out.
right? That's the world's dumpster.
She said, yeah, she was eating it like a turtle bull. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. Listen. Here's the deal. I thought you were literally playing me a video of a woman eating hot shit off of plate. I literally thought that's what
that's
you were
basically
fucking
what
just
it was.
fucking, bro.
It was just a turtle.
No. You know, people fucking eat they eat live shit all the time. You know, like that's not
It's just so crazy.
that's not abnormal. People have they fucking sell online chocolate covered crickets and chocolate covered fucking
See, some of that stuff I
grasshoppers
can
and
probably
shit.
like try it, but like a fucking live turtle, you just cut the bottom off and just slurp the bowl
Listen,
out.
it's crazy. It's
shell.
it's
Ugh.
savage. I'm not disagreeing with you. It definitely makes me
Jesus.
cringe a little bit. I definitely feel something inside my body that goes, "Ooh, God, I can't even imagine."
It's
but
just so slurpy. Like what slurping?
I'm gonna
It's
be honest.
disgusting,
That's
but
that's a lot. That's a lot like less minuscule. I thought it was gonna be worse than that. That's nothing compared to what I thought it was gonna be. Wow.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't need to fucking go to Asia. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't need to go to fucking Asia. If they're doing that kind of shit over there, I'm cool on that.
Sam wants to know what's the
Yeah, I
weirdest
can
thing
keep
we've
your
ever
fucking
eaten?
turtles
What's
and
the
your
weirdest thing you
bad
guys have ever
and your
eaten?
fucking Corona. Get over there, you fucking. Pieces of shit. Are you fucking nuts?
What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever eaten?
I've eaten some weird shit. Bro.
I feel like Brando's.
No, our
eaten some
Brando
shit 'cause
definitely
he's
has.
been a world traveler. Yeah.
Yeah, I've eaten some weird shit.
Brando's had a fucking eat sticks.
I've
twigs
tasted
and shit.
It depends on what you mean, but I've had snake. I've actually had
Yeah,
cooked turtle.
what's the weirdest thing? Give us something crazy off the wall. Anything weird?
Hold on. Stop. Before you go on with your shit, Sam had a question in the chat, and this is actually really good for the East Coaster. Huh? No. The In-N-Out. Are you a fan of In-N-Out?
I'm not. I never even been.
No, I know you're not. You and I have talked about that before. And we've talked about fast food chains on here, but you being a West Coaster,
I mean,
does In-N-Out mean some shit to you like that?
So it's not here in Oregon. It's here in Oregon, but it's in Southern Oregon. So I've only ever had it when I traveled. Yeah.
I thought they had it all up and down the motherfucker, bro.
Nah, it's primarily a Southwest restaurant. It's like Nevada, Arizona, California, I think Texas. We only have two.
Oh, that makes sense because they didn't have it in Washington. That makes sense.
No.
That makes sense.
They don't. So, I mean, I've had it. I mean, I'll take it over like McDonald's. I'll take it over McDonald's or something like that. But I mean, it's okay. I like some of the
It's
stuff
not
they
worth
do,
the long
whole,
fucking
animal
line.
style and all that shit. Yeah, nah.
Well, it's funny because Diaz was talking about how he was driving past. This was a little bit after the lockdown in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, he still pulled up to the fucking. He was driving back home. This motherfucker saw for blocks the line for fucking In-N-Out. He's like, every one of those motherfuckers, I hope they die. And I say the same thing.
But I didn't know what like Whataburger was until I was flying and I flew through Texas and I got me some Whataburger.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good.
That shit fire?
It was a solid burger.
I never had it, but I hear it's fantastic, and I hear the size is fucking pretty delicious. But that's some Texas ass shit for you. All right, let's go back to the weirdest shit that Brando has eaten. What I want to know some weird shit.
The weirdest thing I probably eaten was probably a cat.
Oh my God! You went to China for real?
Yeah, I did. And now it was in a window hanging upside down with a bunch of other stuff, and I had a guide with me, and he was explaining the stuff, and he knew I was
Fluffy.
Yeah, he knew I was a weirdo already, because I'd shown him.
It doesn't take long after he meets you.
No, it doesn't. And I told him, and I'd shown him some. So he said that the cat thing was upside down or whatever, and it was there. And I was like, I could have it? He's like, yeah, you can have it. He's like, you could have it eaten. Like, you could have it cooked, in fact. There, and he had his little, like, range or whatever on the counter in front of him. And it was like a shop, like, but it was barely a room with, like, a board counter going across and then like a counter, like a main hard metal counter in the back with his range, and then there was like a TV hanging in a mount, like in the corner of by the door or whatever. One room little thing, poor as shit. Anyway, but I figured this is a once in a lifetime thing. What the fuck? I had money. I was young and stupid. I didn't think twice about it, really. I was like, I'll have it. And he took it down.
What's that shit taste like?
And he chopped it into 4 pieces. He put it on he took it down. He chopped it into 4 pieces. He put it inside of a skillet and fried it.
Wait. Hold on, time out. I know Brando. Before he did that, did you ask to like feel it? Was it skinned and like furred? Like, did you ask to feel?
I didn't ask to feel it, but I did think about I thought about it, but then I also kind of
Okay.
thought that if I ask, I might not want to eat it anymore. Like
Right,
if I,
right.
like I felt like it would be the right thing to do would be to hurry up and just get it in and get it presented to me as food instead of as you say, fluffy.
Contemplating what it is, what you're actually.
Yeah, let's not
about
think.
to
I didn't want to think about it too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Plus, I mean, and the
You know,
other truth
it's so
is when
funny
I think
that you say that because nobody thinks about a chicken clucking around when they're eating that fucking when they're
eating
gnawing
the
at that
chicken
leg.
wings.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
exactly,
They don't.
exactly.
No,
But-
Like, no one's
you don't think
but
about
see,
that. You just
well,
eat
it's
the
the same
motherfucker.
thing, though.
When
Like,
you have a
look,
nice
they
steak,
had-
you don't hear a moo.
Look, and they have a lot of live markets and wet markets in China. One time I had duck, and the duck was alive not too long before they gave it to me. But the thing is, like, I wasn't asking to touch the duck either. I didn't give a fuck about that. I just want the duck to show up nice, crispy, and tender. Like, you know what I mean? So, but to be honest,
I just feel like a cat is one of those weird
no, but
things.
that
that,
cat.
if it
But
was
I'm not
dead
gonna
and
again,
hanging
though,
in
dude.
the
Like I said,
window,
I did think about it. I did think about fucking wanting to, but I also, like
But-
I said, thought like if I did touch it, I might not want to eat it. But he put it on a bed of rice and squirted. So, and the thing is, like normally, like you know, I don't want, you know, you tell people like you don't want sauce, no pickles, no this, no that. In China, a lot of times you're gonna get it the way they give it to you, and this was really no different. And he squirted soy sauce all over it, and he kind of pushed it across the counter and didn't look at me again. It was the craziest thing. Like stuff like that, you always expect to be some sort of big preparation. You always expect to be some big exchange. It was almost like dude, it was just like him handing you anything else. Bro, I'm here to tell you that shit is reminiscent of America. And this is the thing: in China, you can easily tell the difference between that food and Chinese food in America. And for the first time since I had been there, that food tasted like American Chinese food. That food reminded me, it had the consistency of General Tso's chicken, just not as dressed up. A little bit more. It had a little bit of extra something that I can't place. I want to say a little bit of wildness, a little bit of extra something. I don't know. A little kick
I'm
to
not
it,
that
maybe.
crazy. Like I've had
but
like shark.
But it tasted good.
No, but I
had
think,
shark too.
again,
I had shark. I had
everything
alligator.
everything
shark,
is
like
psychological.
caribou.
I had,
Everything is
venison,
psychological, right? Because here
rabbit.
we domesticate these animals. We cuddle with them.
Yeah.
We sleep with them. We
Outside
feed
of America,
them. We
this
treat
is
them.
food.
Fuck
Yeah, dude. Like outside of
Chowdy
America,
down.
they don't
Yeah,
look at
100%.
animals like that. They look at animals as fucking prey, and we gotta eat this shit to stay alive, nigga. Fuck you and your like cuddles.
We have a bomb.
You know, so it's
German
all
restaurant
psychological. It's
here, and they do a lot of rabbit. Rabbit is big in German food.
If we came from somewhere else, you know, Americans would look at us like we was crazy. So it's just what it is, man. You know, it's like, you know, crazy shit like, you know, Colombia and Mexico and all this shit where they lose their virginities by putting, you know, the boys lose their virginities by fucking the donkeys. They just climb up on the chair, they put your fucking dick in un burro, coño. And you just fucking go to town. You know, and that's like to us here, that's like what
That's
the
normal?
fuck?
That's normal.
Like that's how it was back in the day. Like that's how shit was. Like it's just what it is.
How far
And-
back
and,
in
like,
the day
here-
were dudes fucking donkeys?
It's not far,
It's
not
like
too
a-
far back.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, not too far back. You do it
Just
when you're like a
lift that
little
tail
boy.
up and
But
pound
like
away, huh?
I wouldn't like because of where I grew up, I would never do it. I want nothing or anything. I want nothing to do with an animal, my nigga.
You
Are
don't want a
fucking
little
insane?
burro in your life?
Yeah, no, I'm cool on that. She could be
Yeah, no.
hopping on
What's the
burro.
weirdest thing you've eaten, Dan? Anything? Have you stepped outside the box? You seem like you just eat hamburger and cheese on your burger. So
I'm
you seem
an
like a plain
American. I'm a patriot.
dude. Yeah.
I eat dead cow, dead pig, and dead chicken. That's the
We've
furthest it
talked
goes.
about doing
I'm not
some
a
of those
seafood
things
person,
on
so-
here, like ordering up some of those like chocolate covered grasshoppers and maybe doing
Let's
that
do
on
it,
a
though. I'm
future
down.
show.
I would do it.
I've listened to
If I was
going
gonna
to
do it, I'm gonna do it with my
different
niggas. I'm not
snacks
gonna do
from
it
around the
alone.
world. Of course, yeah.
Like, I'm not the type of guy. Like, I'm always like, people always look at people like this as crazy, but it's just what it is. Like, I'm a content creator. I love doing it.
100%.
One of my guys, doing the podcast that I worked with, the Ad Nauseam podcast a couple years ago, they all took a trip to Mexico together, or no, one of the guys took a trip to Mexico because his wife is Mexican, and he brought back a fuck ton of shitty ass Mexican candy, and they had a whole podcast of them trying out different Mexican candy and just puking, just fucking puking from the garbage. You know?
Yeah.
And so
Some of it is good though too. Like you might find some new candy that you're like, wow, this is actually really fucking good.
There's some stuff that you'd be like, yeah, it's actually not half bad,
Yeah.
you know?
Like there's some I think it's like Denmark or Sweden, one of those places over there that I was listening to a podcast and they got a bunch of snacks from them, and the dudes were like, everything we're eating is delicious. Like there's not anything weird. Like when they read about it and they're like, this sounds like a crazy combination and this is super weird, but this tastes fucking delicious. Like
The thing is,
America
the thing
needs
is, the
to pick
object
this
of doing
up.
that is not. Well, see, people have a thing about, and this is what Brando said. People have this thing about having to assess and take things in beforehand. If you just have it passed to you and you eat it and you don't know what the fuck it is and you end up liking it and you find out, you can't say you didn't like it now, nigga.
Yeah. That was like my lady
You
was
ate it.
saying too, going back to like the weird things when she was stationed in Japan in the Navy. You know, they're big on like the food vendors, right? Like out on the street. And one of the things she had when she was over there, like, you know, fresh out of, 19 years old, was like a baby octopus, like on a stick. And they basically just like deep fry it. They season it, deep fry it, and just serve it to you on a stick. Everything is inside it still. And she ate that shit and she said it was actually good. Like the seasonings that they put on it, and they fry that shit up, it gets like crunchy and crispy. And like, she's like, yeah, I ate octopus on a stick. But I can't do
I
it.
want to read the chats. Somebody from the Blind Guy show says, I've shot, prepared, and cooked a squirrel, stuffed it with stuffing, and wrapped it in bacon.
Oh,
That sounds
That shit sounds
crazy.
delicious.
that's a redneck
Now, if
Thanksgiving
you
right there.
No,
That's
squirrel
hillbilly
is
Thanksgiving.
good. We've had that in my family. Squirrel and raccoon, we've had both of those in my family. We never wrapped it in bacon though.
I feel like the when they talk about that, I should just be hearing like ding 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 ding.
And then we stuffed it with stuff.
Yeah, no teeth. No teeth.
No.
Fucking and white power.
Straight up Beverly Hill white power. Jesus. Don't offend all of our
Sam
listeners.
says, I
God.
think Danny means mostly outside the Western world because Japan, even Japan views cats as domesticated animals.
For sure.
Mexican
And
candy
they
can
do
be
for
really
like
awful, she
dogs
also
too.
says,
Like you
so.
got to go for some of those things. You know, that's the big running joke, right? Like cats and dogs in Asia, but it's really like a lot of rural areas of those places. Like, sure, there's some mainland stuff, obviously, like Brando was saying, but Brando, you've also talked about when you do visit places, you like to go more rural than anything. So,
Exactly.
but a lot of those places,
you gotta-
you're
you
not
gotta go along
finding
the
that
great-
stuff. Yeah,
You got to go along the Great Wall or go deeper
Exactly.
into, go off. Instead of going along the tourist signs to the right, turn left sometimes. That's all I can say. There's all types. Yeah, but even in the touristy areas,
turn left, try some cat.
Yeah, dude, exactly. That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. Hey, yo.
Facts. Yo, yeah.
But hey,
Turn left, try some kitty.
try some cat. Hey, yo. But real shit though, even in the tourist
Hashtag
spot, they
churning chocolate.
know that like shock value sells. So don't be surprised if you see them trying to sell you some alligators or some other stuff in there. They've got all types of.
I feel like alligator doesn't seem that far out because like you. Can
No,
go
it's
down
not
to
that far
Louisiana
out.
and get
But most
alligator
people
all day
who
long
even live in the
Florida.
states where they have alligators haven't ever even tried to eat them.
Right.
I mean, if you're just
See, that's crazy to
How
me.
about
Like,
alligator?
there's some stuff that
alligator's
you know,
delicious.
that I know is normal.
It's like
Is normal.
tangy.
Alligator, I've heard is
Tangy,
thick
kind
duck.
of chewy.
It's amazing.
See, I'm not even interested in trying duck though. I've heard duck is
Duck is
Yeah,
amazing.
I
too.
wouldn't
I
eat.
just like
Duck
I
is
wouldn't eat
good.
duck. Does duck taste like
You need to-
chicken?
Kind
they
of,
do-
but
yeah,
not really.
a lot of people say it's kind of
It's
like
a close.
greasier chicken.
It's close enough. Yeah, greasier chicken. That's about right. I think you should try
Greasier
it, Dan. You'd
chicken.
like it. You'd like it, Dan. I'm pretty sure, Dan.
duck orange.
Una patorito.
Probably try duck one day. I'm not opposed to trying duck. Duck is so normalized to me at this point. Duck is a little more
It's
normalized
a
to me than
quacking
most
chicken.
things.
Come on, calm down.
Yeah.
Quacking chicken.
It is.
It's a
it
quacking
is.
chicken. God damn it.
Dude, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, one thing I will say, my dad had the guts to do was go to the fucking the chicken spot where they kill the chicken right there on the spot. And it's rough. Like, it's rough to watch and it's rough to be around. My mom hated it. She said she went like once or twice in her life. She couldn't go because she could see. Because you
Stretch
just
the neck
picture the
out
chicken
and just chop
the
away.
chicken's running back to the cage, just like, oh shit, who's next?
Not me today, motherfucker. Not me today.
Who's next?
Give me one
right?
more day.
Yeah, nigga. So that was my mom's thought. She couldn't be around that. But my dad was a savage. That nigga, he's a country ass nigga from Colombia, bro. So it's just what it is. Like, that shit doesn't bother him. So he would go. I remember going with him as a kid and just it smelling so bad. Just like, oh. But I swear to God, I'll never forget feeling that warmth in that bag, knowing I was heading home to get some fresh ass chicken, boy.
Chicken.
Oh,
Warm,
that shit
like,
was
it,
so
it was just warm and under the
warm.
the lights of its
Oh my!
hen
There was
house a minute
something.
ago.
It's like, because I remember going to Colombia,
He said its heart was just beating
And-
5 minutes ago.
nigga. That's what it was, bro. Like, it literally is literally that. And just a little longer, about 15, 20 minutes. You go in, you go up to the window, you hear the fucking little chickens quacking in the or the fucking clucking in the back. And I want 2 chickens. All right, cool. Bang, you wait about 15, 20 minutes, you get this big, hefty bag of just a fucking dead chicken that was just clucking in that motherfucker, bro. Oh, so good. Bro, you go home, and it reminds me, I went to Colombia when I was a kid. And I remember having a chicken there, and I just remember thinking, like, wow, this just tastes so different from American chicken. Like, it just
Yeah, it was
definitely,
alive 5
you
minutes
definitely
ago,
can
nigga.
taste. Yeah, nigga, it was, boy. And that's the same shit there. Like, there's something so different from getting that chicken just killed to having that shit packaged under a cold temperature for a while before you pick it up.
Yeah.
It's just different.
So when they give you the chicken, like it's all like gutted and everything too. Like they cut that shit open,
Yeah.
gut it out.
They
do
gut
the
it.
whole
They
thing,
gut it. They
all that
clean
kind
it.
of shit.
They gut it. They clean it. They you know what I'm saying?
Hose
Get
it
all the
down and
blood
call it
out,
good.
all that shit. They chop the chicken pieces up. They just chop it up and they just give it to you in the bag.
That's
Just like
crazy.
that, baby. You feel the bag, it's
Yeah.
nice and warm.
And
Oh.
it's so it's so crazy because I'm sitting here like that's nuts. But honestly, that chicken that you buy at the grocery store, I mean, sure, it's maybe been frozen for a few months or whatever, but it's the same concept, right? Like that shit is just at some big ass chicken farm
1,000%.
just coming through the conveyor belt, just chopping their heads off, gutting them, plugging them.
But
it's the same thing.
1,000%.
But you
But
just
I
hear
think
about how
it
real
is-
it is.
Yeah, it's just something different, though. I think it's just a matter of getting it right there, like when the word fresh is used, it's
they
not
get
to
it.
throw around lightly.
Right where
You
the
get a
chicken
burger,
gets
you
the
get a
axe.
fresh burger.
They get
You
it.
get some fresh beef to do a fat burger. That's definitely so different from eating some bullshit fast food burger. You just know. And so, I look. It obviously makes sense, but more so the frozen thing and like the cold temperature on chicken, nah. Like that definitely changes the type of, you know, how tough it is, how, you know, how it cooks. That's why people have to like brine their fucking chicken. You know what I'm saying? They have to put it in they have to soften it up. When you get that shit warm in the bag, nigga. Just killed a few minutes ago. Old Clucky McCluckerson was just fucking having a good old time until they grab that nigga and say, yo, you're going to be dinner for somebody tonight, nigga.
Yeah. Come on, Donald. Let's go.
Get down here.
Not a chicken.
You know what I'm saying?
Way to go, Adam. You're an idiot. 844-997-0775.
I was just going to ignore it. I was trying to say.
No, I heard. I said Donald like Donald Duck, but we were talking about chicken, and so I called myself an idiot. It's all right. Sometimes
Chicken Little.
Everybody, Chicken Little, Chicken Run.
Chicken Run.
I think let's wrap up on Dan talking about chopping chicken's heads off and warm chicken in a bag.
Yeah, baby. Blood.
We'll be back on Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific this time. Don't be shy. Join in on the conversation. Shout out Shay for calling in, sharing her thoughts about regretting not getting more into sports. Big shout out to everybody in the YouTube comments. Hashtag comfortably poor on Twitter at CPPod100. Fuck with us there. Get your questions in, comments, anything that you want to share with us. Lines will be open. And new podcasts coming out on Friday too. So find us where
I was called a straight man because of how much I was praising live chickens getting killed right before you eat it.
Don't pay attention.
I'm very heterosexual, baby.
That is a.
I'm heterosexual.
It's heterosexual, but what do they call that? That's when you. Brando, help me out here. When you kill your food and it's shit.
What? It's
Rogan talks about it all the time.
Good. It's the way to do it.
Hunter,
like,
carnivore.
Yeah, it's a long
pussy.
I can't think of it. There's a word for it, like a masculine. It's very fuck it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
we got some questions that we didn't get to.
Cock and ball
we'll address those on Sunday. Just a
fucking Rogan has elk
whatever
that he shot and killed himself, you know, that and skinned himself.
Elk. I mean, elk
like
is,
that shit is so great to me.
My aunt and uncles are hunters, but elk is pretty standard. But yeah,
elk's great.
Yeah.
Just throwing this out there for some of the listeners. Think about it and fuck with this on Sunday. Dan wants to know if you could go on an all-expense paid trip to go kick it with a celebrity, who would it be? Contemplate that.
It's to learn something.
Let us know. Okay,
like, who did you ever want to like learn something from?
The craft.
You know, like, what celebrity would you want to? Yeah, like, you're getting all this expense paid trip to go hang out with a celebrity to spend a day learning some shit that you love and that you feel like they can teach you.
Yep.
Let's also do one that Adam brought up the other day. Your favorite TV show theme songs. Let's do that on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Also, I wanted to do what would you feel or how would you feel if you found out that your significant other was in porn later and you found out on your own. You didn't find out because they told you, but you're far into the relationship already. So let's talk about that.
Sunday we'll probably have some Would You Rathers. And,
Would You Rathers on Sunday, a new episode on Friday. So it's good stuff, guys.
Y'all.
Thank you so much for everybody watching.